input into HTML. तो anyone knows still अभी तक हमने जो भी सीखा है उसमें हम इंफॉर्मेशन को डिस्प्ले कर देते हैं वेबसाइट में, but we are not getting any input from the users. Now today we have to learn about how to take the input from the users. Anyone knows how to take input? Then type in the chat box how to take input into a web form or website. Yes, Sahil, very good. Anyone else? Yes, Hitesh, you have typed the tag name. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Aditya. Okay. There are full stop, sir, about input. Yes, yes. Because now we have to take the input from the users. Still, हम अभी तक जो भी हमने सीखा है, it's just the information that we have displayed. Now some input if we want to get from the users, we have to take input tag and using forms. So let's learn how to create a forms into HTML to take the input from the user. Very good. All. Now I'm sharing my screen. So today's topic is to forms into the HTML. How to take input from the users. So this is our folder of HTML practicals, and we are moving further. How to create a form into a HTML. Okay. I'm starting with the HTML, so we have a practice HTML. I'm not typing now the head part. Directly I am typing about the body part. Sure. I'm just saving this file to the HTML, and this is form. So form is HTML. I have to use the extension HTML, and we are saving this file. And also we are form. This is the output of demonstration. Now we are in the body of the HTML, and to create an input from the user, we have to use form tag. And the form tag is a paired tag. So you have to start and you have to close. Suppose we are doing a user registration. Okay, we are creating a form to create a user registration. So for that we are writing before the form tag and one of the h3. You can take any heading tag. We are creating a user registration. Saving user registration. Now inside the form for the user registration, we are taking first is name. I think write down the name, username. Okay. Each and everything we are using as a BR tag, so it will be in new line. Yeah, this is username. Now we have to take the input of username. So how we will take? We have to use the input tag. input is the tag to create a text box. So how to create input? Then you have to type input type is equal to, for the text box you have to write down over here is text. This is your important type text. Okay, I'm just saving this file and refreshing. You can see that this is username and here we can type. Okay, so we are taking the inputs for the input from the user. This tag has to use username. Then again, if you want to type password, okay, so you have to use break line and password. Again, you have to take input tag is equal to, here you can set as like a text. Okay, and you are saying, then what happens, it's a user ID and this is password, but in password field you have to also your text, you have to convert it into a password form. How to change into a password form? In this input type text you have to write down, instead of text you have to write down password, then save. Now look at this, and this is the password, so user cannot see. Okay, so these are the things that we have to learn from the one of the saying, sir, how to align in same line? If you want to align in the same line, just you doesn't give br tag and save. So you can see that it's a user ID and password. Okay, so that's I think very clear to you. In which are the other fields that we are taking into the user registration? Can you type in the chat box which are the other fields? Yes, email ID, then phone number, any other, please write down in the chat box. Yes, gender is correct, hobbies, male, age, very good, email ID, age, yes, city is the correct, Aadhaar number, date of birth. So there will be a many things. Okay, there will be a many things. So we are moving further because we have to take each and every input. Okay, this is the tax inputs. Now we are going for the other input, so you can see that how to do this. Okay, so first we are taking next one is the checkbox. Okay, how to create a checkbox. Suppose you are taking my interest in, okay, suppose we are taking a br as a tag. You can format these things in table tag also. Okay, so it will look very good and very nice. My interest in, and you have to suppose just copy this input and paste. Yeah, you can set as a checkbox. If you set as a checkbox, then what happens? You can see that. Yeah, this one. So here you can input this at This is the checkbox. So here you have to show the different interest and user has to click on that. Suppose you are interested in reading, okay, and another, if I am thinking some of the student has an interest in this depression, then these are the different interests that you can select or unselect. So this type of input is called checkbox input. Okay. Now the next thing that we are taking, again I am taking, suppose if I want to take a gender, then what I have to do, which input type I have to type in the chat box for the gender. Please type in the chat box. Radio button. Yes. Very good, Hitesh. What is the difference between the radio box and chat box? Anyone knows? Then type in the chat box. Difference between radio button and chat box. Yes, Aditya. In radio button. Okay. Yes, I will good. Prashant, Hitesh, Priyam, Aditya, Kushi. Yeah. Radio button is round and checkbox is square. That is also correct. In the radio button, we just select one thing, but in the checkbox, we can select many things. Okay, so now we are going for the radio button. To select the gender, male and female. Like this. Here we have to change only one thing is that male instead of checkbox, you have to write radio and save this file. Now we can refresh. Okay, so this is the radio and this is the checkbox. I am taking another one. And I am saving this file, refreshing. Male and female and checkbox and select. Here you can see that male and female both I can select, but what is the option? I can select only one. So what I have to do? Can anyone knows what I have to do? Because here I have to select only male and female. Both will not be selected in the radio box. What change I have to do? Can anyone know? Then type in the check box. This time you have given option tag. So I think no one knows. So let's check one input side. No page. Name, gender. Yes, Praveen, you are correct. So we have to take another. Praveen is the right. Another attribute of this gender is that you have to use the attribute name. The name attribute you have to give same name. Here you can write any name, so name, gender, and here also you have to write down same name everything. So it will select only one. the both the name is same, then only one will be selected. Now, male or female. Okay, only single one has to be selected. In the chat box, it will be selected. So these are the things that you can do with the radio button. Now the next thing that we are going for this is, I think, city. If I want to take a state or city land, which one I have to go? Which input type that I have to go? Type in the chat box for the city. If I have to city, select the city from menu. Yes. Yes, select an option from very good. Select style. Aditya, if your question is for the gender, both in both, what if you write in place? No, you have to give the name, otherwise it will be a no differentiate. So we are now taking as a select an option, okay, for the radio button. Now the next thing for the select and radio, we don't have to use input tag. And remember this, you have to do all these things inside the form tag. I have opened but not closed, but I have to close over here. The browser is intelligent, that's why it will work, otherwise it will not. So now I have to select the city. BR city. Check and refresh. This one is for city. Now for the selection you have to use select. And select is also a bad tag. Okay. Like this. Save and refresh. You can see that this is the combo box. Okay. Now I have to write down the different city inside the select. For the each option, I have to write down option tag inside the select tag. Then different cities that I have to select. Please mute yourself. Anju Ambati, please mute yourself. Anju, this is the second city. And one more I am taking. Okay. Now save this one. And refresh it. Now you can see that you have to select the city. So these are the things that you can do with this. This is called combo box. Okay. One more type of selection box is that it is called select box. How to do this? Suppose I am taking one more city. Now I have a four city, okay, and I have to do a selection. So how to do this? Yeah, you have to use one attribute called size. by default it is a 1. If you want to select other 2, so it will show 2 cities at a time. Sorry. So, okay, I am creating the forms again. I have put it into a desktop. You can see that into this we can show the 2. It means it's a selection box. It will be option box, it will be a selection box. So this different type of things you can do with the select. One more, suppose I want to take address. Add to the chat box which tag I have to use for the address. For the address which yeah, text box. Text box. Text area is the right answer. Size, yeah, text area I have to use. Now we are trying to use this text area. Okay. For the address, I have to type text area. So it is again a where tag. So and check. You can see that this is the text area. That multi-line text box. These are the single line text box. This is called multi-line text box. So you can type address on this, and you can also set as its lines and width also using suppose columns you want 20 and rows means you want how much rows or how much lines. Suppose you want 3 lines, you can set as a text area over here. I save and refresh. So you can see that it will be a 3 line, 1 to 3. Otherwise it will be, so these are the things. 3 line it will be showing, and it will be a 30 whatever you can give your text area. Also in the column, number of characters you can type in the single line, that it will show. If you write down over 30, then it will display for the 30. The size will be increased like this. If you want 40, then size will increase. If you want the rows to be increased, this is the type of text area where you can put large number of text. Now one more that we have to learn is button. To submit these all things, we have to create some button to submit to the server. Okay, so how to create a button? Again, we have a input tab, input, and the tag is for the submit button. You have to write down submit. So, so you can see that it is a button. Okay, I'm taking the tag. Yeah, so this is the button. Okay, that will submit it when the information is submitted. So this type of things that you can do with the form text. These are the basic things that you can do. Input, type is equal to submit. So this is the thing that you can do. You can type the button also. It is like this, but if you want to give some value, say that it's possible. Here we can change the text of the button also using type equal to button and value is equal to save. So these are the basic things that we have to learn into the form. Okay. So